Hello everyone, hope you are doing well. In this video, I will explain about integrating a Spring Boot application with AWS SQS as a message producer using SqsClient. Simply, I will integrate Spring Boot application with AWS SQS. So this is a SQS is nothing but a simple queue service, right? So queue. In that two parts are there. Producer, sending messages, consuming messages. In this video, I will explain about sending messages to queue. Next video, I will explain about consuming messages from queue. Queue nothing but AWS SQS. So this is the architecture diagram for producer. Producer nothing but sending messages to queue. So this is the Spring Boot application. To interact with AWS, we need to provide access key, secret key, and region, right? So these details I will mention in configuration. And SQS client is nothing but bean in the configuration class. So bean, I will create one bean for the SQS client. In service, so I will build message and I will send message. So in AWS IAM, so I'm creating security credentials, nothing but I will create access key and secret key. I will create security credentials in that two parts are there, access key and secret key. AWS SQS. SQS nothing but simple queue services. So assume this is a in AWS SQS I have created queue. Like assume queue name is a queue. So after that, it will be like a two-part send and receive messages. I will develop now producer application. It will send the messages to queue. Consumer. I will develop now producer application, send messages. Producer app. This app and this architecture minor changes I will do in next video. So let's get started. So first setup. First we need to know setup details. Java version. I will use Java version 17. Spring Boot version. I will use Spring Boot version 3.5.3. These are the related to setup. Next, so I will start now step 1. Step 1 nothing but theory points. Step 1 nothing but theory points. So here SQS. SQS stands for Simple Queue Service. Simple Queue. Simple Queue Service. So SQS queue, SQS queue types. These are the two types of queues are there. Standard queue. Second one, Pipo queue. So in step 2, I will explain about use case. Which use case I am choosing to develop producer application and consumer application. Use case. So coming to use case, producer. Producer. Suppose I will create one order service, sends message to SQS after receiving an order. So see, producer will send messages to SQS after receiving an order. Customer is placed the order, so sends message to SQS after receiving an order. So assume I am a So, customer, I have purchased one product. Then this order service will send message to the AWS SQS queue. Then consumer will consume and delivery and start the delivery process. So now consumer. consumer consumer shipping. Assume in consumer I am developing a shipping service. Shipping service picks up the message from SQS to process delivery. So see consumer shipping service. Consumer in this is the consumer application. Another application name is shipping service picks up the message from SQS to process delivery. Right? So next step number three. Step number three. So I will show how to create AWS SQS. So AWS SQS creation steps. AWS SQS creation steps. Right here post point. So click on create queue. Click on create queue. So auto selected standard is by default selected. So is by default selected. After that, so next configuration. In configuration, I will show in live as well. In configuration, we need to change. One is the visibility. Visibility timeout 40 seconds. So next visibility timeout. Next receive message wait time 20 seconds. Next we need to click on create queue. So click on create queue. Click on create. Let's open AWS. So AWS console, sign in. Just now I have login, so it is automatically login to my account. If you are opening in today first time, you need to enter root, email ID, password, MFA OTP you need to enter. Then this screen will be appear. So you can search. If you are used recently, it will be visible. Otherwise, you can search AWS SQS. So SQS, if it is not SQS, you can take simple SQS, simple queue service. So I have selected like star, I have president star. That means it will be here. So like it is like a bookmark. So check the region. So I am using US East 1 region. So see steps here. So click on create queue. Standard is by default selected. So click on create queue. This is right. Click on create queue. Standard by default selected. So before. See queue types. SQS queue types are standard before. Right? Standard before. Standard is by default selected. So we need to enter the queue name. Queue name. Suppose order service underscore queue. Order service queue. So after that, what I said, visibility time mode 40 seconds. See? So click on create queue. Standard is by default selected configuration. Visibility time mode 40. So yes, enter queue name. we need to enter queue name, configuration, visibility timeout. I am saying to 40 seconds. After that, received message wait time. So I'm mentioning 20. Remaining are not mandatory. Like these are like if you are using multiple accounts. One is the producer, one account, one AWS account is the producer, one another is the another AWS consumer. Then we need to change some settings. Settings like only the Q1. That means it is single account with multiple accounts. Then we need to go for this like that. So create queue, create queue. Before create, copy this. So create queue. First, I will show in AWS SQS screen itself, sending, receiving messages. See, this is the queue. See, this is the queue. Queue. Queue name is order service queue, right? So send and receive messages. So yeah, send and receive messages. Click. See, send message. This is send message. Send message. Receive message. Receive message is nothing but poll for messages. Poll for messages. So I will enter now. Hello Shankar. So I'm sending some message. See, see it will be appear that message. Once you I poll send message, your message has been sent and it is already received. Let's see. So we need to poll for messages. See, one it is appear. Click here. Hello Shankar. Right. This way. In this video, I will show sending message through Java code. So let's go to queue. Let's delete this queue. Again, I will create confirm. Once your practicals are done, you can delete. Otherwise, they will charge you. So queue name, visibility, timeout 40 seconds, received wait time 20 seconds. So create queue. It is saying wait for 60 seconds after deleting a queue before you can create another with same name. So I need to wait there. So meanwhile I can add next step. Once this is the done, step number 4. Step number 4, create security credentials. Create security credentials. So first step, click on AWS account username. Account username. After that, security credentials, credentials, security credentials. Next, scroll down, click on create access key. Next, it will appear one question, create, continue to create access key like this. So you can select checkbox, select checkbox. After that, click on create access key. Click on access key. So click on create access key. Next, we need to copy access key and secret key. We need to copy access key and secret key. Access key, access key, secret key. So this is the fourth step. Let's try to create this. May one minute is completed. Let's copy the queue name. So go to here in brackets, enter this name. This is the queue name, right? So here also we are experimented, right? In AWS SQS, O2 send, O2 receive messages, right? The just send and receive messages. You can enter some text, send message, and you can click on poll messages. It will be retrieve the messages. That's it, right? Yeah. So see steps to create security. Click on AWS account username. So this is the account username. First interview guide, security credentials. So after that we need to scroll down. After that we need to scroll down, create access key. So here continue to create access key. Select create, click on create access key. So copy the access key. Once this video is completed, I will remove this access key and secret key. It will not work out if may someone try to use. So step 5. Now let's go into developing the application. So these AWS console related activities are done. So let's develop one application. File, new, starter, Spring Starter project, Java version 17. So and Spring Boot version. Here there is no Spring Boot version. So order, order service. Mostly you can project names in small letters only. So while you are packaging jar where maybe sometimes it will create issues. So you can always mention small letters only. Next 3.5.3. So I recently used this Spring verb long back. So AWS related it will not appear here. We need to add another two. Let's collect from the ambient repository those. So next finish, right? So here three jars will be added, one verb, one Lombok, and by default test will be added. This is our order service. If I will go, so meanwhile open the Maven repository. So Jackson for serialization of model class we will add it. For that, for serialization we need to add Jackson Jackson hyphen Jackson hyphen data bind such. So wait, so must carefully check com dot faster xml dot jackson dot core, this artifact as well. Jackson data bind version not required, I will remove. It will auto copied, but I am copying again. So scroll down. So version remove. After that, So another. So SQS. Let's check back. So SQS. We need to enter the artifact ID here. Let's check this one. This is the node. So SQS. So our group ID is software.amazon.AWS SDK. This one only. Click here SQS. Yeah, SQS. So first one only. So same version not required. Check both carefully, group ID and artifact ID. Sometimes may import like copy wrong dependency. It will create issues. So character control shift F. Here this version is mandatory. This is not related to Spring, right? So in their parent form, this is the parent form. This jar is not available. This version is not available. So this version is not available. So you need to mention a version as well. Otherwise you will get like error like a version not found kind of. So this part is done. Dependencies were added, right? Now we need to add the so in resources some properties to communicate with our application, communicate with Spring Boot. Our Spring Boot application communicate with AWS SQS. Server.port. So this is the optional one. 8080. Default itself 8080, but I am mentioning same. So now this is the command AWS configuration properties. So what are properties? Queue name, access key, secret key, region. So AWS underscore SQS underscore queue underscore name. So we will add later. Let's complete this AWS SQS AWS SQS AWS access key AWS secret key AWS region. So this AWS SQS queue name. So queue name, this is the order service queue, right? Control C. This is the queue name. So access key, all letters capital. Remember, access key, secret key, secret key, region. So close this region. We can connect from here. US East US hyphen East hyphen 1. US hyphen East hyphen 1. So let's check the spellings. AWS region, AWS secret key, AWS access key, AWS SQS QNAME. Right? These are the right. Next, we need to add configuration class. This is not recommended to place access key, secret key in like this. Like we can read these values from the dot AWS folder. Like that approach I can show. Like we can connect through AWS CLA to AWS account, then dot AWS folder will be updated. So go to C drive, users, see username. This is dot AWS folder, right? When we are connected to AWS by using AWS CLI, these AWS access key, secret key region, these will be updated. So we need to mention default credentials like that in configuration, then it will pick it up from the dot AWS folder. But this approach, in this video I will show this approach. Next video I will show another approach, like I will retrieve access key and secret key by using AWS CLI. By using AWS CLI I will connect with AWS account, then .aws folder will be updated, so I will fetch credential from there. So now in this video this approach I can explain. Next, configuration class. So let's add the package. So new package com dot, so com dot in dot configuration, com dot in dot configuration. So let's add some class SQS client configuration, SQS SQS client configuration. So it is a configuration class. In configuration class, so in configuration class mostly we will add the, what we will add, bean methods, some configurations, right? Later maybe update this configuration class. So we will use standard, we will use AWS basic credentials to default 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 credential. These default credentials are available in .aws folder. So later I will update. First we need to private string access key, private string secret key, private string region. So we need to retrieve these values by using how? By using at value annotation. So first what I copied, access key, right? This is the access key at value. There multiple at values are there. Carefully string one. So at value, check this is the correct. So now secret key. After that, AWS region. So up to this we are reading application or properties file, we are successfully read. So now we are reading successfully. Next add one bean, public SQS client, public SQS client. So SQS client. This is the add bean method. Add bean method. Let's return SQS client dot builder. So builder After that, dot region. Above will be the right region. So region dot of method will be there. This is the region. Next dot credentials provider. Credentials provider. So next here standard static. No static static credentials provider. So dot create dot create. So here we need to mention see credentials provider, static credentials provider in this create method. So this create method expecting AWS basic credentials dot again create method access key. So it is the secret key access key secret key I'm maximizing. After that dot build. So control S. See as per diagram, we are developed one Spring Boot application in configuration. AWS credentials we are configured, region done. This SqsClient we are created one bean. So we have created one bean, right? So let's check region credentials. This is the static credentials, AWS basic credentials, build. This is the done. Next, so model. New package com.in.model. So I will create model like so this is the order service like right suppose order message some model order message. Let's add a few fields here. Private private string order ID private string customer ID private double total amount. So take it as a wrapper types. Private string order date. So annotate at all our constructor. We need no R constructor as well. No R constructor. We need setter. We need getter. Hosting also add. Instead of these, we can use at data, but I will not recommend. So it will add extra some methods as well. Those we don't require. So this is done. Next, we need to develop the service. So new package com.in.service. New class SQS SQS user orders producer service. This names our choice only. I am mentioning like this. If you think like if any better names, you can also add. If you found while you are thinking you are getting better names, you can add as well. At service, this is the business logic will be there in this class. So let's create one method. Public void. It will return nothing. Public void send user order messages. Send user order messages. We need to add a order message as a parameter. This object as a parameter. So post, what we need to do, this entity we need to convert into as a string format message. For that, let's use required or constructor. So nothing but private final. If you want to inject one class to another class, like we can use get auto override. If you want to inject object mapper, we will need to use auto override. But if we are using at required construct or construct, then we can do like this: private final object object mapper object mapper object mapper. So object mapper, we need to convert this model to string. Write write value as so write value as string. See, string order message. It will return the string message body. It is throws one exception. Let's surrounding with try catch. Right, maximize screen. Maximize. So next, so we need to do queue request responses are to there. We need to send the queue name. For that, so get get queue URL request dot builder dot queue name we will enter. After that, build. To get a queue name, we need to so private string queue name, right? We need to use at value. This is string, right? So go to application or properties, AWS SQS queue name. This STRs is not auto saved, and if we need to save manually, IntelliJ is auto saved. Remember, if you are working in IntelliJ and it just switch it to STS, maybe will sometimes confuse queue name. So what is expecting? See, string queue name, right? So this is the one part message body get queue URL request where request ready we need a response ready. So for that we need to inject private final SQS client. So take this SQS client dot get queue URL. We need to pass what we need to pass the get request. This one we need to pass. To pass we need to store this, right? So get queue request get queue URL request queue URL request queue URL. So URL request equal to this. We need to pass here red. So what will return? So get Q URL response. See what it will return. Get Q URL response. Here it will return Q URL response. Then reference variable like Q URL response, right? So request ready, response ready. QRL response. Once response we are received, what we need to do? So dot Q URL. See the URL of the queue. We will get Q URL. So it is written the string Q URL. We got the Q URL right. So let's let's send the message. First we got the message body request we are prepared. We are sending the queue name. We are received the response. After that we are fetching the in response we are fetching the QRL. So now I am sending the message. So communication we are build here. Queue name we are send. It will return the URL. This URL by using this URL we are sending the message. Right? Uh, Send message builder. Send message request. Send message request dot builder dot q URL. This is the QRL dot message body. We need to send here q URL dot message. So see it is coming like a batch. It is the wrong. Send message request. Send message request. Send message request. Send message request. Imports are removed, right? Okay. Now message body after the dot build. So semicolon send message request. It will return same. So equal to send message request. So if you want to, you can move like this. So I am moving this. Look like it is like a pretty. Neatly it will appear. So send message request we are prepared. Right? QRL message body build. After that we need to send message right SQS client dot send message. See these are the overload methods like over. These are the same methods, right? Same method but different parameters. Send message request. This is the done. So let's say add one logger. To add logger, annotate at class level SL4J post. This is remove this unnecessary added one. Import SLF4J. SLF4J. It is belonging to Lombok. Scroll down. Scroll down. So let's add log.import. So like user user order message send to SQS. So this is the response. So user order message send to SQS. So instead of this, if you want, you can also like get customer ID, order date, order ID. These also we can print enter instead of object enter object. We can also print if it is any exception. Then I want one error log dot error. So error sending message to SQS. E. So error while sending message to SQS. So first what we did, our model that converted into string format. This string format converted first. After that we are passing queue to get QRL request. It will giving request data. That request data we are passing parameter to get QRL. We are getting the response. In that we are fetching the get QRL. We are fetching the QRL. That QRL we are passing parameter to the input to the send message request. Along with we are also passing message body. So message body, then this send message request we are passing parameter to the send message method. This method available in SqsClient. This is the done. Let's check packages. com.in is a starter class. So remaining are sub packages, right? Let's say new package com.in dot controller. So now right click new class. Which class? SQS user user orders controller. So let's annotate at REST controller. This is the done now. Private final. We need to inject service. SQS user order producer service. SQS user order producer service. Maximize this. So we are not using auto wait. So at required or constructor, this is the done. So this is a post call. Public response entity. Public response entity string. So user orders right, annotated at post mapping. So path is orders right here at control Z request mapping path we need to function class level path API slash version 1 slash user. So at request body order message so this one In service we are developed void method, right? It will not return anything. So return dot okay. User order message sent to SQS successfully. Some message user order user order message user orders message sent to SQS successfully. That's it. This is the orders API v1 user. So controllers, let's run this application. We need not to add anything at the starter class level. We are nothing anything. We are not using any scheduling like this as of now. Future may we will use in this series AWS SQL. That time I will explain. Maximize. So this is the post call, right? So let's use postman. So let's change the post call. So http:// localhost colon port number is default slash API slash v1 slash user, right? So let's check controller. In controller API v1 user orders v1 user slash orders body raw JSON format. What are the parameters, like which fields are there in model? They are the 4 fields. So I am preparing the JSON for this. So order ID keys all are in string. Values will be based on the data type, but keys must be in string only. So colon order ID some, this is the some order ID. So customer ID also suppose some ID customer ID. This is the amount, right? It is in double. So some double order date. It is also string. So today date 13/0/11/2025. So these are the 4 fields. Let's send. So user order message sent to SQS successfully. See, let's open console and check logs. Where added log, right? So user order message sent to SQS. Order message, this is the order constructor. Order ID, customer ID, total amount, order date. So let's go to the, this is our queue, Amazon queue. This is the queue name, click. So queue, this is the queue name, right? This is the queue name, click. Send and receive messages, click. So send message, this send message related code we are developed. We need to poll for messages. Receive messages, right? See, message available. It is one message available. Let's poll for messages. See, this is the message ID. One message is available. Let's check. See, this is the JSON order ID, customer ID. order ID, customer ID, total amount ordered, right? So, this part in this video, we are successfully understand how to integrate Spring Boot application with AWS SQS. So, like it is a simple queue service like we are developed. First part like sending messages to queue, retrieving or polling messages from queue that I will develop in further videos. Next video I will develop before sending message to queue. I will store this message into database so that I will integrate with RDS as well. Thank you for watching. For more videos, please subscribe to this YouTube channel.